It's quarter-final weekend of the Michael Murphy Sports and Leisure Donegal Senior Football Championship, and the action kicks off this evening right here at the O'Donnell Park in Letterkenny, where we have a rematch. Once again, Micheals and St Michael's will be playing each other in the championship. We go back to round one in the group stage, where the Twin Towns boys went to the bridge and took the victory on that occasion by 2 points. But today, that's a different story. It's not groups anymore. It's knockout football once again. Whoever loses exits the championship, and whoever wins goes to the semi-final. St Michael's have had a break for 2 weeks, while Micheals had a recent victory against Downings to make it to this stage of the competition. You'll not miss a thing with the first game of the quarterfinals here on Donegal GATV with streamsport.ie.
At Michael Murphy Sports and Leisure, we cater for everyone, from top sporting athletes to relaxed casual sporting individuals and everyone in between. We also provide a large range of teamwear services and cater for schools and clubs. Orders can be customised to your specification to suit your individual needs. From clothing to equipment, we've got you covered.
And it's a very good evening and welcome along to the O'Donnell Park in Letterkenny for coverage of the opening quarter-final of the Michael Murphy Sports and Leisure Donegal Senior Football Championship. 4 quarter-finals to be played this weekend. It's another bumper weekend in the county, and hopefully we'll get a bumper of a clash between these two sides who have already met in this campaign. That was back in the group, the round one of the group, a match in which the Twin Towns side, Micheals, went to St Michael's and won down at the bridge by 2 points. That was at the group stage. There's a lot more at stake today. Whoever loses is out of the championship. The winner, of course, will go to the semi-finals next weekend. Brendan Kilcoyne is on co-commentary with me today for this clash. We'll hear from him in just a moment. What we'll do first of all is run through the lineups for today's fixture, starting with the Micheals side, who of course have progressed through to the last 8 after a preliminary victory over Downings right here in Letterkenny last weekend. The big news is, of course, that Oisín Gallen will not be starting for Micheals. He has that ankle injury, and once again he's been ruled out of this clash. Owen Gallen, however, is in goals for the Micheals side. Rory Callaghan, Conor Griffin and Finn McGinty make up the full back line. Ahead of them in the half back line, it's Cian Mulligan, Sean Martin and Fintan Griffin. Luke Gavigan and Joe Boyle will once again be the partnership in the middle of the park. Chad McSorley, Jamie Keegan and Conor McGinty make up a versatile half forward line at 10, 11 and 12. Then we have the 2 changes. There's no Kevin McCormick or Oisín Gallen in the front 3. Their places are being taken by Sean Breen and Sean McMenamin, and the veteran Marty O'Reilly will once again line out with 15 on his back. As for St Michael's, they will line out as per the programme 1 to 15. Mark Anthony McGinley once again in goals. Kyle McGarvey, Liam Paul Ferry and Jamie Hunter make up the full back line. The first of the Langans is Oisín at number 5. He's joined with Stephen Doak and Michael Cannon in that half back line. Then we have Michael Langan, who once he returned to the championship has had a superb campaign that included 11 points against Glenfin. He's joined in the middle of the park by Kieran Kelly. Daniel McLaughlin, who's hit 120 in this championship, wears 10, with Colin McFadden and Michael McGinley at 11 and 12. The O'Reilly brothers make up 2/3 of the forward line. Edwards at 13 and Carlos at 14, and then Max Rorty wraps up 15 for St Michael's, who of course had the break for a week, having already qualified automatically for this stage of the competition. And I suppose, Brendan, it'll be interesting to see what scenario is going to suit which side better. Is it better to be playing games regular or having that break of a week by making it straight to the quarter final? We'll only know in about an hour and a half's time.
Yeah, you're right, we'll only know in an hour and a half time. I suppose the big thing from a Micheals point of view is, Oisín Gallen not playing, but they also lost Kevin McCormick to a hamstring injury early in the game last weekend. That's 2 of their inside forward line, so that's going to be a big loss, Oisín.
Time for a round of in.
Anna
So just to confirm, a late change to the St Michael's side. Patrick O'Neill is going to come into the starting lineup for St Michael's to take the place of Daniel McLaughlin. So Martin McElhenney making a late call just before throw-in here at the O'Donnell Park in Letterkenny. Now, as I said in the introduction, Brendan, these two sides met previously. We can't really read into much to that game because McCool's down at the bridge, 12 points up with 10 minutes to go, won it by 2, but both teams have progressed very, very strongly in the championship since. But it seems to be the general feeling is, with Oisin Gallen not here and Kevin McCormick not here, St Michael's are edging it as favourites for this one.
Yeah, I think Michael's will go in as favourites into this game, so they will. You have to remember, going back to that first game, neither Oisin Gallen or Michael Langan played either Oisin, and it was only in the last 7 or 8 minutes that Michael's got any head of steam up, driven forward by Colin McFadden, also Carlos O'Reilly, and Daniel McLaughlin, who is a big loss. So he's playing really well for them. He's one of their main scorers and scoring threat, so he's a big loss for St Michael's.
Michael Langan and Luke Gavighan tussle for the ball, and the first of exchanges is won by the Michael's men, who are looking to get the ball up the field quickly. There's too much just on it on that occasion, and it spills in front of Conor Griffin, and it's going to be a free out early here for McCool's in this encounter, who are playing from left to right, kicking into the River Swilly end of the goals, and looking at the flags that are blowing very strongly here. It's at the back of McCool's. They will have the breeze in the opening half. Colin McFadden's now working at forward. Here's Max Rorty with an effort. That one's going to stay high and stay in play. Michael's have a chance of a score. Carlos O'Reilly is going to split the posts here and get the first score of this quarter final, and that now brings his total to 118. And St Michael's, Brendan, looking very lively in these opening seconds.
They have indeed forced a turnover on the 45, worked the ball brilliantly to the hand. Max Rorty put the ball in, actually was going for a shot. It dropped short into Edward O'Reilly. He fed his brother Carlos, who put it over the bar brilliantly for first score of the game. Good start for St Michael's.
And there may be an early change here, is there, on the St Michael's side? No, he's actually just putting the bib on there. There was a bit of an instruction coming to the line. We wait to see what that is and who it is that will be coming on if that is going to happen. I see the bibs off again. Right, the play continues, and it's dropped into the Michael's half, and it's picked up there by Stephen Doak. Michael Langan now is going to spread it to this near side. Michael Cannon is the man on the ball here underneath the Dr. James McDade stand at the O'Donnell Park in Letterkenny. Colin McFadden is a man free down the left hand side. It's Michael McGinley now. McGinley just waiting for the instruction to come. Cannon's going to feed it back to McFadden. Langan wants it standing in the centre, and they're going to change flank here and go out to the right hand side once again. Doak popping that one forward, as St Michael's are quite happy to dictate the pace at the moment and work the ball across field between the 45 and the 65. Michael Cannon with lots of space again underneath the stand, just pops that one forward into McGinley. McGinley's able to ship a challenge, but James Connors, the referee's blown for a free, and there's going to be an opportunity here for a 2-point score for St Michael's to try and build on this 1-point advantage that they have at the moment, Brendan.
Yeah, lazy tackle from McCool's defender on that occasion. McGinley was shaping up to take a shot, pulled back, then he realised that he had the free from outside the arc, so just pulled the trigger, blocked down. So Michael Langan with an opportunity here just outside the arc to the left of the posts, just in the sunlight. Oisin, and knowing the quality this man standing over the bar, there's a good chance he could put this over. There's a strong breeze though blowing. It's hard to see which way it's going, Oisin.
Yeah, it's all about which way he's going to strike this ball and how he can carry it under that breeze that at times seems to be cutting across field. But here comes Langan, 11 points in the match against Glenfin. Looking for his first today. He's had it sweetly, so he has dropped over the bar, and Michael Langan opens his account with a 2-pointer today. It's a 3-point to no score game, and McCool's have yet to get going, Brendan.
Yeah, what a lovely strike of the ball from Langan on that occasion, and we know the quality he possesses. He'll take them chances all day. They're on attack again.
Yeah, they are indeed. It's Colin McFadden now. Going to flick it across the 13. It comes to Rorty. Rorty again finds another score, and it's all St Michael's in these opening couple of minutes here. It's a 4 points to no score game. Langan with a 2-pointer. Max Rorty has knocked over one, and also on the score sheet early doors was Carlos O'Reilly.
Yeah, really a good score. The broke down Owen Gallen's kick out easy, relatively easy, was able to work the ball through the hands into Max Rorty. The young UUJ student then did the duty full and put it over the bar for them.
So the questions have been asked now of McCool's, who are not finding any sort of rhythm. They've sent the ball over the sideline, and it's Carlos O'Reilly again in possession for St Michael's. Back it comes to Cannon. Cannon feeds it to Langan. Langan has a man free in the centre. That's Stephen Doak as he looks to pull the strings here for the men from the bridge once again. Feeds it to McFadden. McFadden spills the ball. Cannon's going to kick it out to the right hand channel on the Oral Leisure Centre side of the ground as it comes back infield once again now. Here's Langan looking for another 2-pointer, and this one drops over the bar. Already we're in the opening minutes of this game with 4.5 played, and we've had 4 points from Langan, 2-2-pointers. Superb kicking, Brendan Kilcoyne.
Absolutely, you just can't, give enough credit to the quality that this man like Michael Langan possesses. He's absolutely deadly on the ball. Just had one look up there after the ball was worked through him, top of the D, and once it left his boot, he was never in any doubt it was going straight over the bar. Brilliant start from St Michael's. 6 points to no score up, and we're not into the 5th minute yet, Oshie.
Okay, the kick out to come once again from the McCool's goalkeeper. That is going to drop now around midfield, and Michaels have picked it up once again in the age of the 45. Michaels now looking to work it up the left hand side, and going to come back infield now to Kieran Kelly. Carlos O'Reilly looking up. Well, he wants a 2-pointer as well. He's going to kick it high. It's going to drop in front of the face of goal. It's going to break away. The chase is on once again. And that one goes out over the end line, and it's going to be a kick to come again for McCool's.
Yeah, really enthusiastic effort there, you'd have to say, from Carlos O'Reilly. Well outside the arc, put it up in the air, but nothing transpired out of it. Max Roarty was under it as Colin McFadden, but weren't able to get anything on it. And McCool's are really struggling on their own kick out here. They need to get possession. I think they learned from the game down the bridge, Oshie. They were this wee man on the ball here, Conor McGinty, caused them endless trouble early on in that particular game, got his hands on a lot of ball, and they'll be looking for him to maybe, to create something for them. Himself, Sean Martin, were really the two driving forces with Jamie Keegan in that original game, and they were 6 minutes in and they're just getting their first touch of the ball, so it's going to be difficult for McCool's to work their way back into this. It's a nearly blow for them to go 6 points to no score down, but they'll be looking at the experienced Marty Riley on the ball now in the middle of the field. He plays it to Luke Gavigan, and Luke Gavigan kicks a great ball in at Sean McMenamin, who wins it well out in front. He gives it back to Jamie Keegan. Jamie Keegan kind of stutters, gives it back to Sean Martin. Sean Martin puts it up in the air but goes well wide, and it would appear that McCool's are kicking into the river end goals, and just looking at the flight of that ball, you would think that they're playing against a strong enough breeze, but it is difficult to ascertain which way the breeze is going because it's all over the place. Mark McGinley gets the kick out away, gives it on to Kieran Kelly. Kieran Kelly gives it to Michael McGinley. Michael McGinley looking at his options outside him here. He beats the tackle, he runs it over and moves the ball on to his wing back.
And it's picked up once again by the Michaels men on the edge now off the McCool's half. And St Michael's lead here by 6 points to no score. They've had a lightning start. The wing forward is Michael McGinley. He wants in on the scoring act, and that one goes over the bar as well. And listen, it's another score for Michael's, and it's a 7 points to no score game here. And McCool's are making a meal off it here with a kick out. The ball's in the ground, but it's going to be a free up the field for the Twin Towns men, and they just can't get going at all. But Michael's out of the blocks really impressively here, Brendan.
They've been hugely impressive. They've huge physicality all over the pitch. Very experienced team coming up against this relatively youthful McCool's team, and they've just dominated the early stages of this game. But that's a good ball into the inside line. It's Chad McShirley.
Yeah, Chad McShirley sends that one over the bar. It's a badly needed score, so it is for McCool's at this stage, Brendan.
Absolutely, yeah. Hopefully that will settle them down a bit, because there are a bit of nerves, and we've seen it throughout the championship, particularly under these new rules. Kick out going outside the arc. Teams can put huge pressure on the opposition kick out, so they can, and that's what happened in the first 5 minutes, 6 minutes of this game, and it's given St Michael's a brilliant foothold and a brilliant start to this game. And of course you've that man on the ball, Michael Langan, who oozes quality, Oshie. Yeah, and
they're going to work it again up the left hand side, which they've had a lot of success with at the moment. Back it comes into the middle, where there is Colin McFadden, and now bursting through the challenges, but the referee is blown for over carrying, so it's going to be a McCool's ball. And can Luke Gavigan get his side going now? Gavigan is working it up the right hand channel. Ball's kicked forward. Out comes Again, McSorley ahead of the cornerback, who's McGarvin. He's done well. There's a tug in the jersey there, so it's going to be a free to McCool's. Kicking into the River Swilly end of the ground here, and coming up now to take this free is going to be Jamie Keegan. Of course, no Oisin Gallen once again for McCool's, having picked up that ankle injury in the game against Gweedore and Convoy. And Jamie Keegan's able to find the scoreboard. So that's back-to-back scores now for McCool's, and as they look to get back into this game, it's 7-2 here now at the moment, and McCool's eventually starting to find a bit of momentum.
They are indeed, yeah. That and good response to them. 7 points of Michael's from McCool's. Interestingly, I see that Jamie Hunter is picking up Conor McGinty. Conor McGinty caused St. Michael's endless problems down the bridge in the original game, in the group game, in this game, Oisin, and he hasn't been on the ball much for McCool's yet.
It's going to be knocked back to the edge of the half once again by St. Michael's. Down the left-hand channel it goes. Michael Cannon is going to work it back now to Carlos O'Reilly. O'Reilly's going to chip it out to the right-hand channel. Again, St. Michael's looking to build something here, just on the edge of the arc. Well, Carlos O'Reilly thought about bringing it at crossfield. Now the cornerback here is Jamie Hunter. Jamie Hunter laying it off to Michael Cannon. Cannon's going to give it back to Carlos O'Reilly. Is he going to try for a two-pointer here? Gives it to Langan. Langan pops it forward. Cannon's looking for a score here, just on the edge of the D, and that one drops over the bar. And after two scores coming from McCool's, it's Naomh Micheal who have got another one, and it's now a net 2 fixture here to St. Michael's. We have played almost 11 minutes of this tie. Just a recap of the opening 11 minutes here in the O'Donnell Park. We've had two pointers from Michael Langan, Carlos O'Reilly, and also getting on the score sheet was Michael McGinley, Max Rorty, and Michael Cannon. So a spread of scores from St. Michael's in these opening 11 minutes, but the two big ones came from Michael Langan, which were two pointers, one from a free and one from play. Chad McSorley and Jimmy Keegan have got the scores for McCool's in this clash so far. McCool's find themselves 6 points adrift at the moment. The ball's popped out of the hands of Luke Gavigan. Good work there by Michael McGinley. It's going to be a sideline ball just at the dugout where the St. Michael's management are. He's going to have to go forward here. McGinley launches it up the line, and it goes over the top of everybody, but it's Max Rorty who does extremely well. Finds it to Doak, into the path of Doak. Now Colin McFadden's running off the shoulder. Dropped into the path of the centre half forward. This is Colin McFadden charging forward. He's going to fist this over the bar. And another good score by the men from the bridge as they go 9-2 in front. They worked that well, so they did under pressure, Brendan.
Brilliant, and brilliant from Max Rory. Ball over his head, did absolutely fantastic to catch it and move the ball through then to eventually worked his way to Colin McFadden, who showed the composure. And that's something that's really impressed me with St. Michael's in the first number of minutes. The composure they're showing when they are in attacking positions. Actually, they're moving the ball through the hand, creating the opening for the shooter to get the shooter on the ball. And have to have 9 points on the board with 12 minutes gone is great shooting, and by any man's accounts.
So it's going to come back again now to around the edge of the 45. Good work with Carlos O'Reilly, but he's judged to have fouled Jimmy Keegan, who's on duty taking frees here today, because again there's no Oisin Gallen on this side for McCool's. He hasn't featured since he picked up that ankle injury in the match against Gweedore. And now James Connors is just coming over to tell Joe Boyle, listen, that's where you have to take it from. No magic spray today from Mr. Connors, but it is a free for McCool's, and if he can judge the one rightly here, this would be a massive two-pointer for the men from the Twin Towns. So Joe Boyle is standing over this, very slightly off to the right of the upright. He's kicked this one well, and it's dropped out to the right and wide, and that is a second wide of this tie for McCool's, and it stays a 7-point advantage, 9-2 to the men of St. Michael's, with the kick to come again from Mark Anthony McGinley as he sizes this one up. Langan is the target, but it's going to drop because there's a strong breeze there as he was kicking into it. Lovely, delightful ball, chipped over the top, and it's under the path of Eddie O'Reilly. Here comes Eddie O'Reilly, waiting on support. He's pulled down inside the arc, and it's going to be a free to St. Michael's once again. And you would expect the men in red to split the post and make it a 10-2 fixture here with 14 minutes on the clock. But I suppose, Brendan, from those who are just joining us for coverage of this game, was a blitz of a start by St. Michael's in this game.
Yeah, absolutely brilliant starts, played some brilliant football, and as you said, them two pointers from Michael Langan are crucial. That's a 4 point, so they've been really efficient in front of goal. So they've only kicked the one wide, I think, and they've been really, really good working the ball into the scoring positions, creating lots of trouble. Again, I think it's important to mark out that the loss of Oisín Gallen and Kevin McCormick, and they're been replaced by Sean Breen and Sean McMenamin, who would be two defenders naturally, Oisín. So they have lost a lot of firepower up front. It's going to be a big ask for them, and that's put over the bar by Michael Langan. So
Michael Langan now has 5 points in this game, 2 pointers, and he has that free as well, and he puts his side 10-2 up. This is a big advantage in this opening half for Mark McElhinney's side. So the ball drops again from the kick out in favour of St. Michael's. They're ruling the middle of the park at the moment. This is Michael McGinley now. Gets the ball out of trouble, gives it to Max Rorty. Rorty crosses the 13 down into that pocket. It's going to come back now to Patrick O'Neill. Carlos O'Reilly gives it to Michael Cannon. Cannon's going to spread the ball again to Jamie Hunter. Hunter just pops that one forward, and it comes back inside now to Colin McFadden. He's got one fisted over the bar. Is he going to get a second one? Yeah, second fisted point from Colin McFadden, and it's another score for St. Michael's, who go 11-2 in front. And there's a feeling, Brendan, that every time they get the ball and they work it forward, that there's going to be a score at the end of it.
Yeah, and we were looking out on the pitch on that occasion. You could see the space that they had on the far side, Oisín, and the wherewithal to be able to work it very speedily over across the field into Colin McFadden. Powerful player, ran through the McCool's defence and again fisted it over the bar. But again, young Max Rorty in corner forward, involved, making good use of the ball, getting out under the breaking ball and then getting involved again. So really, really good from St. Michael's.
You watched these two teams play in the first round in the group series. The St. Michael's side, by the way they're playing today, they're a far more polished unit than what they were on that occasion.
Oh,
Brendan.
Absolutely, yeah. They were totally outplayed for 50 minutes, Oisín, in that game. McCool's were absolutely brilliant, played some absolutely swashbuckling football, but to be fair to St. Michael's, they come back in the last 10 minutes and close a 12-point lead down to a 2-point lead. But McCool's were definitely on fire that day, but we're seeing a complete reverse of that today, and a lot of it has to do with that man on the ball again in the middle of the field, where number 8, Michael Langan. He's such a crucial player for them.
So it comes again to the 12. That's Michael McGinley. He's been on the scoring act as well, so he has. Langan's going to spread it across at 45. Cornerback Jimmy Hunter has it. Hunter now going up as far as the 21. Stepping inside the arc is Cannon. Michael Cannon just pops it forward. Michael's again looking for the man available. Here's man's covered a lot of ground. Colin McFadden is taking a heavy hit here. It was a high challenge in there by Jamie Keegan, and over comes James Connors now, and there's going to be a card, I would say, for this challenge, and Colin McFadden is going to be okay, but we're going to get the first card of the day for that high challenge. Jamie Keegan's going to get a yellow. There it is from James Connors, and Michael Langan is going to take this free, and is he going to go for it? It's outside the 45, and I think he's going to go short by just by the body language that his signals he's given at the moment. Yeah, back it goes to Max Rorty. They're going to try and work it in, and they're going to go over to that far side again, where they've had a lot of success in this opening half. It's been a workable channel for them. Jamie Hunter lays it off to Michael Cannon once again. Cannon now to Max Rorty. Rorty, a little bit of space ahead of him. Heads for the edge of the... Oh, there's another high challenge by Keegan. I'll tell you what, Keegan could be in trouble here. A similar tackle just moments after the high challenge in Colin McFadden. He gets a warning now from James Connors to say, listen, That's it, no more, you'll be gone.
Yeah, he'll need to watch his steps, so he will from here on in, Oisín. And the first cackle, it was just pure frustration. You can see the frustration coming out in him. That was more of a lazy hand in, and that's very good reffing from James Connors. Tell him that's your last chance, basically. Don't get involved in any more of that.
So Langan's going to take this free, and now from a bit closer in.
Similar position to the one he put over early in the game.
Yeah, I'm just looking at the flags. The one's blown across the field again. So
suits a right-footed kicker kicking into these goals.
Yeah. So Michael Langan, who's 5 points today, 2 2-pointers. Is this going to be his third 2-pointer and with only 19 minutes played? And he's able to curl it. And again, a beautiful strike by Michael Langan. The umpire for the third time now today for Michael Langan is going to raise the orange flag. Yeah, he's taking his time. He was just getting clarification from James Conner. But it's a 2-point score again from Michael Langan. And now it's 13-2. The gap's getting bigger all the time here, Brendan.
Absolutely. And, they deservedly lead by that amount. So they've totally dominated the first 19-20 minutes of this game. And they've been so efficient in front of goals. I don't think they've had any way. They've been just absolutely on it. So they have. And, 7 points from Michael Langan 19 minutes into the game. And he's just so nonchalant with them free kicks, Oisín. He makes it look so easy and puts them over the bar. But Micheal's within possession now with a chance to attack.
Sean Martin, who we haven't spoke of much now, we've seen him in the last couple of games, Brendan, and he was very effective for them, and we haven't mentioned him too much in this game, getting his hands on the ball there now and giving it off to another man that we haven't mentioned too much of that's been very good this campaign is Conor McGinty. Back now comes to Marty O'Reilly, who's looking to pull the strings. Luke Gavigan picks it up here in the age of the Michaels half, who need a score here because they haven't had one since the 9th minute, and we've now played 20, and the last 5 scores, which included a 2-pointer, have all come from St Michael's. Jamie Keegan is going to drop one over here, and it's going to be marked as a 1-pointer, and it was a timely score. That's now 2 for Keegan. The man on the yellow card here gets another score, and listen, something that Michael's badly needed, Brendan.
They did indeed, Jan. Really good score from Jamie Keegan. As you mentioned, the men that Micheal's be looking to kind of drive this game forward. Sean Martin, Conor McGinty teeing up Jamie Keegan. Jamie Keegan just inside the arc did really well to put it over the bar, so a good score from Micheal's and badly needed, Oisín.
That was a third point of the game for Micheal's, but they continue to trail by 13 points to 3 here. Eddie O'Reilly is going to hit one high, and that's the first wide for St Michael's, and I suppose in that period from the 9th to the 20th minute with those 5 scores for St Michael's, and there was a 2-pointer, a third of the game from Michael Langan, which made it a 13-2 game. It's now 13-3. The St Michael's men, are they calling for a breach here down below us, but play continues. They're having a discussion with the linesman down there, or the 4th official actually, but play continues. Marty O'Reilly trying to drive his side on here, popped over the top. Now it's laid off to Keegan. Back it comes now to Sean McMenamin. No chance of a goal, is there? Oh, and it's brilliantly blocked down there, and it's going to go out for Marcus as a 45. As the ball's going to come back the way now for this 45 for Micheal's as they try to get another score here and chip under this huge deficit that they have.
Yeah, well worked from Micheal's. Sean McMenamin involved, Conor McGinty got the ball inside and went for the goal. The important thing for Micheal's is not to overreact, not to try and force it, because we've seen that throughout the championship. Teams that are trying to force it are basically kicking they're putting too much pressure on themselves. So keep chipping at the points and get in touch. There's another half of this game to go. There's still 8 minutes of this first half, but an opportunity here now from a 45. It's a well struck free, so it is well struck 45 over the bar.
Yeah, it's Joe Boyle again, so Joe Boyle, yeah. So that was over the bar, and it's a 4th point in this tie now for the Micheal side, but doesn't their trailing been 9, and on the clock we've still got 7.5 to go here. It's 13-4. There's a challenge there on the St Michael's players, but Jamie Keegan, and young Keegan's living dangerously here in this game, Brendan. He's already had a yellow, he's had a warning as well, and the challenge had come in on, was it Kieran Kelly? And
I think it was Kieran Kelly.
How did you see that one?
I thought it was innocuous enough now. I think it'll be harsh for him to go off the field for that, but he needs to be very careful, so he does. He basically can't go into any challenge or any tackle now in that situation, because you could see the St Michael's players too putting pressure on the referee. And again, I'd say fair play to James Connors, kept calm, didn't throw the red card out, but Jamie Keegan he's walking a tight line, so he is, Oisín.
Yeah. And the kick out goes now, and it's over on the right hand side. It's picked up by Michael Langan. Langan has it. chips up over the top. And Oisin Langan, and now we have Michael McGinley once again. McGinley down that right hand channel, waiting for support, looking up to see what the options are. Man on acres of space on this side is Michael Cannon. Ball goes back into his own half. He's asking a bit much. Well, Michael Langan got there first. It worked out okay for Cannon. He has the ball back again now down the left hand side, and Carlos O'Reilly's trying to get away from the defender, but he's held up. Referee didn't see it. Back it comes now to Michael Langan once again, looking to orchestrate things. Out to the right hand channel again for St Michael's, with under 6 to go to the break. Carlos O'Reilly's got away from his man on this occasion. Pops it forward to Michael McGinley now, standing on the 21. It's a tight angle for McGinley. He's been closed out there by Joe Boyle. It's going to come back the way to Oisin Langan. Spread across that 45, and Michael Cannon's got loads of space. He wants a 2-pointer, but it's kicked high and out to well out to the left and wide.
Yeah, poor effort. First poor effort really that they've had at goal. So it is St Michael's, as I said, they've been so proficient and efficient in front of goals, so they're just so dominant in all areas of the field at the moment. And McCool just need to settle down so they do get their hands on their own kickouts for a start and try and create something up front. But it's looking very poor for them at the moment, Oisin.
Ball kick forward now, and Michaels have it on the edge of the arc in the Michaels half. Or McCool's have it in the Michaels half. Now it's picked up by Luke Gavigan. Gavigan to Marty O'Reilly. Popped forward down the right hand side. The cornerback's way up the field from McGinty. Gives it to Marty O'Reilly once again. Back it comes to Sean Martin. Inside the closing 5 of the opening half of the opening quarter final of the Michael Murphy Sports and Leisure Donegal Senior Football Championship. McCool's boys trying to create an opening. Kelly comes in with a tackle on Gavigan. Is picked up by Marty O'Reilly once again. Jimmy Keegan, who scored half of their contribution so far in this game, has an effort there that's half blocked down. Is it going to go wide? Yep. It's going to be marked as a third wide for McCool's. It didn't touch the Michael's player. So the kick will come from Mark Anthony McGinley once again. And no doubt he's going to be trying to hit Michael Langan with this kick out. Here comes the signal, and it's coming out to the left hand side. Michael McGinley goes up, gets a hand. That's a brilliant fetch by the wing forward Michael McGinley, who does very, very well. Ships a challenge, gets advantage. Referees allowing it to continue. Now Michael Cannon has it once again. Stepping on to the 45 in the McCool's half. Eddie O'Reilly now out in a deeper role. Back into Michael McGinley, and he's got a runner now coming up the right. It's Stephen Doak. Doak has Colin McFadden ahead of him. Gives it to McFadden. Back it comes to McGinley on the 45 in the middle of the park. That's a good delivery into Cannon. Cannon's got loads of space over here. He's going to have a pot here, and that one drops over the bar. And it's another one for Michael Cannon, 2 in this game. That's now 14 points with 3 minutes and 15 seconds remaining in the clock in the opening half for St Michael's. And they've a 10-point cushion here. Yeah,
they have indeed, and deservedly so. And that was brilliant. Michael McGinley's spot at the Michael Cannon was all on his own here. And the importance of getting the kick right into his chest, give him that little bit of time to just put it over the bar. And again, brilliantly worked score from St Michael's, who are totally dominant in this game, Oisin. You would have to think that McCool's will be happy for the half-time whistle to come and try and get settled down, because it's just not happening for them. They're not getting the ball in key areas.
Now McCool's are working it up the left-hand side, and it's with Finton Griffin. Griffin pops it forward, but it's going to go back to Sean Martin. Martin now fists one in, looking for Sean McMenamin, actually, but it's too much on it. And too many red shirts in there to deal with that danger. Michael Langan has it. It's a lovely ball out. Patrick O'Neill picks it up and steps in to the McCool's half, heading up towards the 45. Gives it to Carlos O'Reilly. O'Reilly jinks now. Pops it back into the path of O'Neill. Oh, there's a goal chance here, is there? What are we going to do? Stick it over the bar. And it's another point, a 15th of the half for Michaels, and another well-worked score. And any time there's space at all, it seems to be that the men from the bridge are able to find that, and they're able to execute the plan very, very well. So they are, Brett, and it feels that they can score every single time.
Absolutely brilliant transition, and shows you how quick it was. Michael Langan got the ball in the middle of the field. He saw that the numbers over, that it was one-on-one at the back. We're able to work the ball through the hands. Eventually Patrick O'Neill put it over the bar. So they just look so composed and everything to do, and you contrast that with what McCool's were trying to do up the other side of the pitch, Sean Martin trying to find Sean McMenamin, just pass wasn't on, intercepted straight up the field, and a score for St. Michael's.
Look, Gavigan now is going to give it to Sean Martin, who wants a 2-pointer.
Great effort.
What an effort, what a score by Sean Martin. It's the first 2-pointer of the game here for McCool's, and I'll tell you what, whatever Michael Langan can do at one end, Sean Martin can do it down the other, and now it becomes a 15-6 fixture with McCool's getting the first two. That was a sweet strike, Brendan.
Absolutely brilliant from a brilliant footballer. Sean Martin, very accomplished player, so he was involved obviously with Donegal under 20s when they were beaten in the Ulster final by Tyrone, and eventually went on to win the All-Ireland and played classy for Donegal the whole way through that campaign. A lot of class there, and he showed it there, but McCool's are going to need more of that from him, so they are.
Michael's again looking to maybe get another score on before we have the end of the half, because we're into the closing minute of this opening half. Colin McFadden again is going to go to Michael Cannon. Cannon's got a couple of scores in this one today, so he has two. And anytime he gets the ball, he's able to find space down this left-hand side, but he's going to go back into the middle. Where there is Kieran Kelly. Kelly now sending it across the edge of the half to Doak. Doak finds the path there of Oisín Langan, and back now once again to Kelly, and Michael Langan picks it up. It's been marked by his opposite number 8, and Luke Gavigan. Back to the edge of the half to Doak. We have 15 seconds left before we hit the 30. No details as yet if there's going to be any time added on at the end of the half. Hasn't really been any major stoppages. Carlos O'Reilly gives it out to Oisín Langan. Support is there. Patrick O'Neill. Now to Michael and Langan. 1 minute going to be added on. Langan continues his run. He wants an 8th point here, Michael Langan. Is it going to stay in play? Oh, it's caught by Max Rorty. It's still in play. Chance of another score for Michaels across the face of goal and over the bar. A second for Rorty, and that's now 17 points for St. Michael's in this clash. And it's back to a 10-point advantage. 16 plays 6, Brendan. 16
plays 6, yeah, and a rare misfire from Michael Langan that time. Went high up in the air, but we saw Max Rorty again. You saw him catch the ball over his head earlier on. That was a really difficult ball to take down. Took it down brilliantly. Half thought maybe for a second that the goal was on, but then put it over the bar. Really good play from your inside forward for a second point of the game.
Okay, the kick goes to Gavigan. Up they go forward. Look, Gavigan does well. Calls the mark. And is there enough time for a score here for McCool's, because we're about to hit the 31st minute, and James Connors looks at the watch, and that is it. It brings an end to the opening half here of the opening quarter final of the Michael Murphy Sports and Leisure Donegal Senior Football Championship, and St. Michael's, who blasted out of the blocks early on, have a 10-point cushion here. Max Rorty, of course, getting the last score of the half. He's had 2 in this game. Michael Cannon stepped up with 2, but I suppose Carlos O'Reilly's got 1. Just looking at the sheet, Michael McGinley's got 1, Colin McFadden's got 1, but Michael Langan, the big player for the St. Michael's side, the county man, he has 7 points in this game, 3 2-pointers and 1 1-point free, and his contribution has been huge. But there's been other huge contributions from the St. Michael's players as well. As a unit, they're playing very, very impressively, so they are, Brendan.
Oh, absolutely, Oisín, and all over the field. Of course, all the scorers are going to get the credit, but defensively they've been solid. They've a structure there that McCool's are finding it hard to break down, and then, as you mentioned, you have Michael Langan, but you have more than that. You have Max Rorty inside, you have Colin McFadden getting a couple of points, Carlos O'Reilly getting a couple of points, Michael McGinley getting on the scoreboard, and as you mentioned, Michael Cannon too on this wing, who seems to have a notion of pace. So it's been a hugely impressive first half performance from St. Michael, so it has a sobering experience for McCool so far, Oisín.
It certainly has been. We wait to see what they can do in the second half, but it's all about the men from the bridge in the opening half of the first quarter final of the Senior Football Championship. It's St. Michael's 16 points, McCool's 6 points, and we'll be back with live second half commentary for you real soon.
Main scorers and scoring threat, so he's a big loss for St. Michael's.
Michael Langan and Luke Gavigan tussle for the ball in the first of it. Here's Max Rorty with an effort. That one's going to stay high and stay in play. Michael's have a chance of a score. Carlos O'Reilly is going to split the post here. Cutting across field, but here comes Langan. 11 points in the match against Glenfin. Looking for his first today. He's had it sweetly, so he has dropped over the bar.
So they have another attack again.
Yeah, they are indeed. It's Colin McFadden now. Going to flick it across the 13. It comes to Rorty. Rorty again finds another score. Again now. Here's Langan looking for another 2-pointer, and this one drops over the bar. They've had a lightning start. The wing forward is Michael McGinley. He wants in on the scoring act, and that one goes over the bar as well.
The early stages of this game, so that, but that's a good ball into the inside line. It's Chad McShirley.
Yeah, Chad McShirley sends that one over the bar. It's a battle game against Gweedore and Convoy. And Jimmy Keegan's able to find the scoreboard. So that's back to Langan. Langan pops it forward. Cannon's looking for a score here, just on the edge of the D. And that one drops over the bar and dropped into the path off the centre half forward. This is Colin McFadden charging forward. He's going to fist this over the bar. And another
by Sean Breen and Sean McMenamin, who would be two defenders naturally, Oisin. So, you know, they have lost a lot of firepower up front. It's going to be a big ask for them, and that's put over.
That one forward, and it comes back inside now to Colin McFadden. He's got one fisted over the bar. Is he going to get a second one? Yeah, second fist. Is this going to be his third 2-pointer, and with only 19 minutes played? And he's able to curl it, and again, a beautiful strike, which included a 2-pointer, have all come from St Michael's. Jimmy Keegan is going to drop one over here, and it's going to be marked as a 1.
Game to go. There's still 7 minutes, 8 minutes of this first half. An opportunity here.
At Michael Murphy Sports and Leisure, we cater for everyone, from top sporting athletes to relaxed casual sporting individuals and everyone in between. We also provide a large range of teamwear services and cater for schools and clubs. Orders can be customised to your specification to suit your individual needs. From clothing to equipment, we've got you covered.
And you're welcome back to our coverage from the O'Donnell Park in Letterkenny for this first quarter final of the Michael Murphy Sports and Leisure Donegal Senior Football Championship. It is, of course, a bumper weekend of action here in Donegal. And you can, of course, watch all the action on Donegal GATV in association with streamsport.ie. You'll not miss a thing from the quarter-finals and indeed the semi-finals of the Intermediate Championship this weekend on Donegal GATV. Check out their social media channels for details, of course, of all their upcoming matches as well. And you can replay and watch all the games that have taken place so far. Lots and lots of action for you to watch available online. So we have Micheal's out, and here come the men from St Michael's as well. If you're just joining us, St Michael's have an advantage of 16 points to 6. It's a 10-point advantage, and now in the second half they're going to be assisted by whatever sort of breeze is there as well. I see Aaron Kelly's into the fold with 20 on his back for Micheal, so a change being made by the Micheal's manager, Gary Wilson. And if Micheal's are going to get into this, they really do need a good start here to the second half, Brendan Kilcoy.
They do, and it's going to be very difficult for them because they've been outplayed in nearly every position in the field in the first half, Oisín, and add in that factor now that they're kind of playing against that breeze, which is strong enough out there, so it is. So it's a huge uphill task for them to get into this, and they're going to need their leaders. They're going to need their Sean Martins, their Conor McGinty's, Marty Riley's, these type of players, Luke Gavigan, to really drive them forward in this half, because they, as I mentioned, they really struggled in most areas in the first half, Oisín.
Yeah, so we're just waiting on Mark Anthony McGinley to take his place between the posts, and we'll be able to get the second half of this clash up and running here at the O'Donnell Park in Letterkenny once again, as James Connors looks around just to make sure that everything is okay, and we're ready to rock and roll with another half of football. Of course, big games to come tonight. The tie of the round, Kilcar against Gweedore. That game is in Glanties and it starts at 7:30 this evening. And then tomorrow, Four Masters against Dunloe and Eve Connor up against Termon. The second half has resumed here, has started. It's going to be a free to St Michael's. Sean Martin takes it quickly, feeds it to Joe Boyle. Boyle has Michael Langan ahead of him. Back it comes to Sean Martin, who had a wonderful two-pointer in the closing moments of the first half, which sort of kept them in it. Now they do have a brave bit to crawl back here, so they do. Marty O'Reilly lays it off to Keegan. Keegan now to Conor McGinty, who's had a relatively quiet game. He's been very, very impressive so far in the campaign. It's a really tight angle, and that one is going out to the left and wide, and will be marked as a fourth wide for Micheal's. It stays at a 10-point advantage. We've played a minute of the second half. The kick out goes out to the right and is picked up by Michael Cannon, who had a lot of space in the opening half down his channel. We'll wait to see if that's going to change in the second. Here comes Michael Langan tearing up the park in Letterkenny. Mike McGinley's there if he wants to use him, but coming now from deep. Support arrives here now into the age of the Micheal's half, and it is the centre half back Stephen Doak who pops it forward into the path of Colin McFadden, and back out now to Michael Cannon. Cannon goes to Langan. Langan comes back in now to Colin McFadden again. Here's O'Reilly kicking one high, and that one is going to, yeah, he's got the score, and he's got a big score. It's another two-pointer for St Michael's, and that now means the 10-point advantage becomes 12 as they increase their advantage, and it's not what the Micheal's boys would have wanted, Brendan.
No, and the whole difference, Oisín, there was Mark Anthony McGinley able to get his kick out away over to the far sideline. They built the score, worked the score through the handstand, and it was an absolutely super kick from Carlos O'Reilly. We know he can do it, the quality that he has, but he was prepared to take on the ownership of that and absolutely drilled it over the bar for a brilliant start the second half for St Michael's. 18 points to 6, Oisín.
Now it's picked up by Conor McGinty once again. McGinty coming across the 45. And out comes Aaron Kelly to get his first taste of the action. Kelly in, taking the place of Sean Breen for the second half. Luke Gavigan looking up to see what the movement's like. Here's Conor McGinty again. McGinty now to Jamie Keegan. Keegan. Out comes Chad McSorley, who's able to get around the fullback lane, Paul Ferry. Away goes McSorley, stepping onto the 13. Out comes the forward. Now Keegan has it once again, but there's not too much space there for him, so he has to go to the man in the centre. Marty O'Reilly looking for a 2-pointer here. He's kicked it high, and that one comes off the uprights and falls under the grasp of Oisin Langan, who's going to kick it away to safety and kick it away for a 45. But there was real danger there. It was a case of Oisin Langan was the right man in the right place at the right time.
Absolutely, was the most available player in there, so he was. Great effort from Marty O'Reilly, took it on himself just outside the arc, would have been a 2-pointer, hit the upright, and as you say, Oisin Langan, aware to the danger, was under pressure and just says, I'm going to get rid of this and just put it out for a 45. So good position from Oisin Langan, experienced player, just in the right place.
Yeah, so Joe Boyle, who has already kicked a number of scores. Was it 2 or 1 he got? Yeah, it was a 45 he got in the first half. He missed from the other one. But this time, he's kicking it into the breeze. Here comes Joe Boyle with this 45. Goes out to the right and is kept in play there, but comes off of Michael's player lane. Paul Ferry can't hold on to it. So it's going to be another 45. And this time, Boyle's going to go over to the other side, and he's going to have another crack at it. And this is where they probably miss Oisin Gallen, so it is, Brendan.
You miss him for a lot of reasons, so you do, he's absolutely pure quality is, and he's such a loss that it can't be overstated how much of a loss he is to this Micheal's team, particularly a very young team coming through kind of thing. And I know he's helping them out and he's in the dressing room with them and all that kind of thing, but they want him out in the pitch kicking them scores. But that's a brilliant kick from Joe Boyle, so it is.
Yeah, superb kick from Joe Boyle. Seems to be suited better to the far side, maybe.
Yeah. With the way the wind is blowing, he can use his right foot and curl it in better, Oisin,
So that's 2 45s now for Joe Boyle. He's converted, so it's 7 points to Micheal's, but they are trailing by 9. On the board with 18 are the St Michael's men, who picked up the ball again around the middle of the park, and it's with Michael McGinley who's fouled, but the referee plays advantage. It's into the path of Kieran Kelly. Kieran Kelly's going to feed it to Colin McFadden, steps onto the D, into the D, on the left foot, splits the post, and St Michael's have responded with yet another very well worked score. And at times it's nice to watch their football because they're playing lovely football at the moment, and a good conversion there by Colin McFadden, who gets a second of the game.
Yeah, brilliant, and working the ball through the hands, ability to win their own kick out, working the ball at pace through the hands. Colin McFadden then through the heart of the Micheal's defence did brilliantly well to get it over the bar, but it's all about winning your own kick out, Oisin.
Well, now we have the wing back for Micheal's, that is Cian Mulligan. Needs to get rid of the ball, gives it to Sean Martin. Martin now pops it forward. Now it comes again to Conor McGinty. McGinty now over the top to Martin. McGinty looking to orchestrate something here. Marty O'Reilly picks up possession for Micheal's, feeds it off to Fintan Griffin, who's challenged. There's going to be a free here to Micheal's on the 45, and we have played almost 6 minutes of the second half, and the story of this latter half, it's been 2 scores for St Michael's, just the 1 for Micheal's, and we had Carlos O'Reilly with the 2-pointer, which got the action started for St Michael's in this latter half, would made it an 18-6 game. Joe Boyle responded with a 45, and just a few moments ago Colin McFadden with another nice score for the men from the bridge to make it 19-7 as we watch Joe Boyle with this free. Dead straight in front of the posts. How well has he struck this one? He struck it superbly again, and Joe Boyle has got another. Yeah, it's a 2-pointer. The umpire just raising the orange flag, and Joe Boyle's got 4 in this game, and it's back now to a 19-9 fixture. So 10 points is the difference once again, and Joe Boyle's just got them still hanging on to the coattails here.
He certainly has, yeah, and that was a brilliant strike. So it was just put his foot through it straight over the black spot, and he is keeping them in this game. So he is just about, because they're drifting by 10 points at the minute, and Michaels don't look under any pressure at all. They're having no difficulty getting their kickouts away. Mark Anthony McGinley is a super kicker, so he is well capable of picking out a man. So Micheal's need to try and disrupt Mark Anthony's McGinley's to try and get a run of scores here on St Michael's.
A change here for Micheal's. 26 is Andrew McCluskey. He comes in to take the place of the fullback Conor Griffin, who's had his hands full today. Eddie O'Reilly now pops it off to Oisin Langan, and Sean Martin got there ahead of Colin McFadden. It's going to be a sideline ball to Micheal's, which is taken by Martin, and it goes to the middle. Gavigan now is going to find a man in space, and it is Joe Boyle. Joe Boyle's going to look for Chad McSorley, is he? No, he's going to send it further up the field looking for Keegan, who's going to get there first. Good work by Keegan. Aaron Kelly's there too. Keegan gets it back. He's inside the arc. Now Conor McGinty is joining the attack. It's popped forward there. Sliding is Sean McMenamin. The ball's going to come back out, and Sean Martin has it. Will he go for a 2-pointer here, Sean Martin? He scored one at the end of the first half. Now he comes across the edge of the 45. Now's the room for Martin to have a pop. He's closed out. Gives it to Keegan. Keegan is Chad McSorley ahead of him. Behind him is Marty O'Reilly. He goes to the experienced O'Reilly, who's been marked there by McGinley. O'Reilly looking to put the burners on. Steps inside. Lays it off now to Joe Boyle. Not enough room for Joe Boyle to offload. Back it comes to Chad McSorley now. And back to the 45 in the St. Michael's half. Going toe to hand. Just looking to see what the openings are like. Looking to see who's available. Conor McGinty just takes a very short pass to the tug in the jersey. The referee's seen it. Advantage played. And McGinty, well, he's pulled that one to the left and wide. But it is going to come back. And there is going to be a 2-point scoring opportunity here now for Micheals. Is it going to be Marty O'Reilly or is it going to be Joe Boyle that's going to take this one? Marty O'Reilly's over there. Joe Boyle's coming over. I think Boyle's going to take it.
Yeah, I'd say Marty's just telling him put it over the bar.
Yeah.
Yeah, you'd have to expect Joe Boyle has been kicking them brilliantly off the ground, so he has his 3 scores off the ground already, so he has for a total of 4 points contribution to the Micheals total of 9 points, Oisín, so a good opportunity here now to get another 2-pointer.
Yeah, this would make it 11 for Micheals. Here he comes.
Great strike.
Yeah, another good strike. The 2-pointers have been good scores today, so they have for both sides. Joe Boyle's got a couple of them. That's now 6 for him, and it's making a game of it. It's 19-11.
Yeah, certainly closed the gap a bit, so it gives Micheals a bit of hope, so it does, and a game that they've struggled in. And again, we see Mark Anthony McGinley getting his kickouts away of crucial importance in this game, but he's under pressure on the far sideline.
Yeah, so Micheals starting to wake up in this game. We've played almost 10 minutes of the second half. Marty O'Reilly's going to get on with it quickly, and it's going to be a sideline ball to Micheals over on that far side. And the linesman just telling Sean Martin to go move back. Here's Conor McGinty now. McGinty flicks that one forward once again. Back it comes to, is it Luke Gavigan that's picked it up in the middle. Chipped over the top. Out comes Aaron Kelly. Kelly out ahead of the defender. Pops it inside. Kelly looking to get rid of it. Gives it to Keegan. Now to McGinty once again. It's compact in there. Going to spread it out to the man with a bit of space, and that's Sean Martin. Sean Martin now down that right side on the outside of the right boot, looking for a 2-pointer, and drops over the bar. And it's going to be a 1-pointer because it came off, well, 1 or 2. That should be a 1-pointer because Mark Anthony McGinley actually got his hand on it. So we're waiting to see what the officials are going to do. I see the linesman just signalling there's a hold up here. Here we are. James Connors has now confirmed that it's a 1-pointer, that it was flicked over the bar. So it's a 12-point score, a 12th score for Micheals. So that advantage now is cut to 7 and not 6. I think everybody from St. Michael's that's here watching the game are on their feet.
Yeah, and it was very well done from Mark McGinley, but it was a brilliant effort from Sean Martin from well outside the arc, Oisín, and we saw him kick a brilliant one in the first half, and that occasion got it over the bar, which is the important thing. But they've closed the gap to 7 points. This is a spirited comeback from Micheals, so it is.
Michael McGinley is fouled. The referee is going to play advantage here. He's looking to get on with it, Michael McGinley, but it is going to be a free just outside the 45. So is this kickable from Michael Langan to get another 2-pointer? Langan hasn't scored in the second half. No, they have been outscored by Micheals. 4 scores in the second half for Micheals, but there has been a couple of 2-pointers in there. Langan with his back to the posts. He's going to hook round on this with the right boot, about 50 metres out. It's kicked high, and that one is going to drop and drop and drop over the bar.
What a score. What a score from Michael Langan. Absolutely brilliant, Oisín.
And that is 4 2-pointers in this game for Michael Langan. His contribution now becomes 9 today. Remember, he scored 11 points in the game against Glenfin. He's on target to match, if not better, that today. We've still got, on the clock, under 18 minutes to go. But Michael Langan has had some superb scores today, and it's a A fourth two-pointer of the tie.
Yeah, brilliant score. He put it up in the air and it seemed to take for ages to come down, and I actually thought it had gone wide because we lost sight of it with the stand here.
We couldn't actually see where the ball was.
But brilliantly dropped over the bar. What a class player.
Top drawer stuff from Michael Langan. Now McGinty pops it forward. The ball now up into the McCool's half inside that 45. It's a 9-point advantage, by the way, 21-12. Big cushion, of course, in this game for the Michaels men with 17 minutes left on the clock. Chad McSorley is going to pop it forward into the path of Jimmy Keegan once again. Keegan just ducking left, ducking right, looking for Marty O'Reilly. O'Reilly is there. O'Reilly picks it up. Here comes Chad McSorley on the left peg, dropping it over the bar as well. 13 points McCool's, but they still are well adrift of St. Michael's. 21. It's an 8-point game here, and again Chad McSorley, he had to work hard for that one, so he did, Brendan.
Yeah, he did, and Marty Riley again involved it really well, and that's a poor kick out for Mark Anthony.
Very poor kick out, but here comes Keegan. There's just too many red shirts around him. He needs to release the ball, but Chad McSorley couldn't hold on to it, but James Connor says there's a free in there inside the D in the way of McCool's, and they're going to have a chance here now to bring it back to a 7-point game.
Yeah, and Mark Anthony McKinley's kick out has been spot on to have Riley all day, so they were, but on that occasion tried to pick a man through the cover and just was intercepted by McCool's, and Chad McSorley just, I don't think he looks a wee bit tired. He just didn't have the legs in him maybe to get away from the tackle, but adjudged to have been fouled, and this is an easy top over free, you would think, for Conor McGinty.
McGinty drops that one over the bar, so it is now a 7-point game here, and we are about to hit 15 minutes to go, and Antoine McFadden is going to be entered into the fray as well for St. Michael's, getting instructions from the management and from it seems to be Daniel McLaughlin who's down there giving a bit of instructions as well on the line. Of course, he's contributed hugely in the scoreboard. Wasn't named to start, but that didn't materialise. What a fetch by Michael Langan. Superb fielding by the big number 8 for St. Michael's. Gives it out to Michael Cannon now, and Langan going to send it across to Oisin Langan, to McFadden. Colin McFadden. It's through one challenge. Going to be met by Sean Martin. Looked to lay it off there to Patrick O'Neill, but he couldn't hold on to it. McGinty to Martin to O'Reilly. These guys are looking to get their side back into this once again. That one goes forward now as Gavigan heads to the 45 in the St. Michael's half. He's going to be met by Langan. Gives it to McGinty. Jimmy Keegan once again. He's in between the referee and one of the Michael's players. Conor McGinty's just slowing things down, waiting for support. Joe Boyle's coming running up the right hand side if he wants to use him. Instead he's going to turn to the left and look for a man in a bit of space. Sean Martin's got a bit of space out this left hand side. Over the top it goes to Aaron Kelly. Kelly now gives it to Martin. Martin's looking up to see what the movement's like. It's very, very compact and tight in there in front of the Michael's goals. Here's Chad McSorley. Challenge comes in from behind, a bit heavy handed from Liam Paul Ferry, and it's going to be a free to McCool's. And is it inside the arc according to the linesman?
The foul was inside the arc. The man ended up outside it.
So here we are now with another free for McCool's. They can decide to bring it out the arc if they want outside the arc.
No, they can't. No.
Oh, it's a free.
No, it's a free. No, you can't. No.
So here comes Conor McGinty. He's kicked it high, and Conor McGinty's effort goes to the left and wide. It stays at a 7-point game. We're into the closing 13 and a half minutes.
I see a couple of subs here, Oisin warming up, Martin McElhenney and Anton McFadden, two hugely experienced players to be bringing into the fray.
Two experienced hands coming into the game.
It's a brilliant kick.
Yeah, superb kick, and it's found Kyle McGarvey. Comes to Carlos O'Reilly now, helping out around the middle of the park. Feeds it to Langan. There's a man got tons of space over in that channel, heading down the left hand side, and again it's Michael Cannon who's going to be met by Sean McMenamin, but Cannon quite happy to turn and wait for support as more artillery enters into the half of McCool's for the St. Michael's men, and the 22 and the 28 are going to have to wait another wee while before they get into the game, because Michael's are on the attack with Stephen Doak. Doak gives it to Carlos O'Reilly. Out it goes again to Michael Cannon. Back it comes to Doak. Doak to Cannon. Langan given the instruction to work it down the line. There is Michael McGinley. McGinley's going to send it back again to Doak, who's looking to pull the strings. Oisín Langan's free on this near side here. Feeds it to Oisín Langan. And he's looking to see what the movement's like. Back it comes to Doak. Doak again is going to go out to that left-hand channel. There's a bit of space. Carlos O'Reilly again is going to run at this McCool's defence, and he goes to the challenge. Foul committed. Referee's playing advantage. O'Reilly, let's go here. And it drops over the bar. And Carlos O'Reilly's got another score here for them. I think that's now maybe 2 for him in this game, in this half anyway. Here comes the changes. Anton McFadden and Martin McElhinney are coming into the game. McElhinney, of course, the manager, and working his way off the field is Patrick O'Neill, who McElhinney comes on for, and off comes Michael McGinley as well, who put in a big shift, and in comes Anton McFadden. So there's 12 minutes to go in this game. Change has been made by the bench down there, so the man in charge in the line now is Daniel McLaughlin for St Michael's. The short kick out comes from Owen Gallen, finds his man with no issues at all. Andrew McCluskey is going to pop that one forward to Rory Callahan. Callahan gives it to Marty O'Reilly once again, and the veterans looking to pull the strings here from McCool's. His side, of course, are trailing here 22-14. They give ones a free on the edge of the Michael's half, and the sun is coming out from behind the clouds. And it's a lovely evening here now at the O'Donnell Park in Letterkenny. Thankfully the rain stayed away for the game. There was a heavy shower maybe 20 minutes or so before the match, but we haven't had any since. The wind's dying down as well. McCool's are on the attack. It's with Jimmy Keegan. Keegan now spinning and turning, and he's over carried, and it's going to be a free out as well to St Michael's, which will be taken quickly by Langan. Langan, that's Michael, pops it into the path of the other Langan. Is Oisín. Oisín now spreads it across the field. Loads of space over on the Oral Leisure Centre side. Carlos O'Reilly chips it up into his hands. Martin McElhinney, the manager, gets his hands on it as well. That one's going to be pumped forward into Carlos O'Reilly, who takes it on the edge of the 21. Is it inside? An effort coming in here now from Max Rorty. Rorty's effort's going to drop and stays in play. And Eddie O'Reilly done brilliantly, and he kicks it over the bar. Superb from Eddie O'Reilly, gets a second of the game, and he done brilliantly to keep that in play in the first place, and he deserved to score, so he did, Brendan.
100% he did. As I say, if you don't succeed at first, try again. The ball came in, a speculative shot in from Max Rorty. Eddie O'Reilly didn't get it the first time, brilliantly to get it the second time. We shimmy, dodge and put it over the bar. Brilliant from Eddie O'Reilly.
And the kick out goes as far as Sean Martin. So 23 plays 14, and we're inside the closing 10 minutes, and it's really just about Michael's seeing this game out. They have been totally dominant in this tie from very early doors. So they did from the opening half, where they blitzed them by 7 points to no score in the opening 7 minutes, and that was the foundation of what is set to be a big quarter-final one, as St Michael's look to return, of course, to the last 4 of the championship, where last year, of course, they lost out to Dunloe in the semi-finals. McCool's, meanwhile, have the ball with Jimmy Keegan once again as they try to create something and get back into this one. The cornerback is Rory Callahan. Callahan's going to go out now to Sean Martin. Martin now, not enough room to have a kick the first time. Second attempt, that goes over. It's another good score from Sean Martin. So it's 23 plays 15. 8 points is the difference, but the clock continues to tick down. And when it's ticking down like that, and you've got an 8-point deficit, the Cools will be hoping for a bit more, but that's not going to be the case here. They need something huge, so they do now at this stage, I think, Brendan. Yeah, and it's hard to see where it's coming from, because St Michael's are defending well. They seem to have them well shut down. Yes, McCool's have put in a good hard effort in this half, and they have challenged them. And you know, Joe Boyle's 2 long-range free kicks of 2 2-pointers. We've seen Sean Martin get up the field and really trying to drive his team forward, and he's been really good. So he's 4 points from play today, so he has Sean Martin. But to me, the difference is, you know, the physicality that Michael's have all over the field, plus the ability of Mark Anthony McGinley to find a target on most occasions. Yeah, he's caught once or twice, but he's been really good in his kickouts today, so he has. Right, okay, the kick comes again from Mark Anthony, and this time it finds commentator's curse. Yeah, we'll be loving you for that. Anyway, Sean Martin has it. It's over on that side that he likes to kick 2-pointers from. And it comes now to Keegan once again. Now Marty O'Reilly looking for Boyle. He's just behind Boyle. Michael Honey's going to sweep it up. Feeds it to Langan. Over the top now to Colin McFadden, who turns, but he has to wait for support. Back to Michael Langan and Martin McElhenney. And Stephen Doak's away on a track up on to the McCool's half on the far side of the pitch. Doak with a bit of room. Ahead of him is Carlos O'Reilly. O'Reilly now picks it up just on the edge of the 21. They're going to come on field here and try and get a bit of space. He's twisting and turning on Mulligan over there. It's forced back the way to McElhenney. Michael Cannon now. It's going to come to Oisin Langan, who's lots of space down this right hand side. Back to Michael Langan. Standing in the middle now is Cannon once again. Anton McFadden. Popped over the top to Michael Cannon. Cannon running under traffic, needs to come back the way. Gives it to Langan. Langan goes to Anton McFadden. And Carlos O'Reilly has it once again. Ahead of him is Mulligan. Is he going to try and get round Mulligan on this occasion? Stops, wait for support. Back to McElhenney. This is patient football here from St Michael's. The two substitutes linking up. That's McFadden and McElhenney. McElhenney's been pulled back. Referee says no advantage. And is it needed? It's not needed. So it's not, because it's over the bar. And it's from Martin McElhenney, the manager, player manager, who's on to the field as a second half sub. Gets his first of the game, and that now brings St Michael's with 6 minutes on the clock up to a 9-point advantage. 24 plays 15.
Yeah, Martin McElhenney rolling back the years with a real power play, taking on his man and driving it over the bar, even though he had the advantage of a free. And you know, they're just so good. So they are Michaels at this stage. So they're top everywhere, and you can see the subs they bring in, the likes of Martin McElhenney and McFadden. Anton McFadden, experienced players who will just be smart enough and cute enough to see this game out. And you know, it's been a really, really good performance from St Michael's.
Play continues here at the O'Donnell Park in Letterkenny. Don't forget there is of course lots of live action to come over the next 2 days from the championship here in Donegal, including the other three senior quarterfinals. Tonight, Kilcar against Gweedore. That one starts at 7:30 up in Glenties. Tomorrow in Ballyshannon, it's Four Masters against Dunlow at 2:30. And then back here in Letterkenny at 4 o'clock tomorrow, it's Niamh Connell against Tyrman. And that will bring an end to the quarterfinals. Of course, the draw then will take place after that tomorrow when those games conclude. Conor McGinty. Back it comes to Andrew McCluskey. McCluskey feeds it to Sean Martin. We're inside the closing 5 minutes of this quarter-final, and it's just a matter of St Michael's seeing it out. They have a 9-point advantage. McGinty lays that one off now to the cornerback Callahan, but there's a foul on McGinty. It's going to be a free here to McCool's, with another change coming as well into the game. Wearing number 29 for St Michael's, and this is Ethan Ferry, who will be coming in for the closing stages. So this free will be taken by McGinty. McGinty, that just about sums the day up for McCool's. It's gone wide. It stays at a 24-15 game. We're inside the closing 4 minutes, and unless there is some sort of miracle here, it's going to be St Michael's Day. It's a matter of just riding out the clock. Mark Anthony McGinley is going to take his time, that's for sure. We're just waiting on the sub to get the go ahead as well. And it's Eddie O'Reilly that's coming off. And in goes Ethan Ferry for St Michael's. Big round of applause for Eddie O'Reilly.
Yeah, did really well, along with his brother on the inside line, Carlos. Both of them have been really effective and dangerous players to curtail inside. But there's the man.
Michael Lang chips it forward. Ethan Ferry's only on the field here and get there for the keeper. And the referee is blowing for. He's going to call Ethan Ferry over because Ferry left the leg in, was it?
I think he'd every right to go for that ball, actually, you know, and the ball was there to be won, and he'd get a yellow card.
He's going to get a yellow card for it. He's only on the field. There was tons of space there, and the chase was on between Owen Gallen and Ethan Ferry. Ferry gets a yellow card for leaving the leg in on the challenge. But play continues, and Sean Martin has it. 2.5 minutes to play. And our first semi-finalist in the Michael Murphy Sports and Leisure Donegal Senior Football Championship will be confirmed. Keegan for McCool's, coming across the 45 in the Michael's half. One's popped forward. Lots of red shirts on there looking to get the ball back. Marty O'Reilly kicks it out to the left as he pulled back from McElhenney. James Connors was taking his time with the whistle on that occasion, but he blew in favour of O'Reilly. Them two boys know each other well, of course. They're part of the Donegal set-up in 2012 that won the All-Ireland. But O'Reilly got there first. He felt he was pulled back. So did James Connor. Michael Honey didn't think so.
No, he didn't. Martin didn't agree.
So Joe Boyle, can he kick a 2-pointer from here? It's what, 50 metres out, kicking into the clubhouse end of the grounds. The breeze seems to be coming across fields ever so slightly. Here comes Joe Boyle. It's going to go out to the right. It's actually going to hang and stay in play. Michael Langan drives a fist through it. The ball spills and breaks out to the right-hand channel. It's picked up by Sean McManaman. Keegan has it back from McCool's. It's going to come in now to Marty Riley on the edge of the arc. Here's Sean Martin as he's going to drill one from distance. We're about to hit 1 minute to go. Keegan's going to hit one high. That one's going to drop in front of goal. The fists go up. The ball stays in play and it's going to be swept up by the St. Michael's man, and Martin McElhenney has it as he looks up to see who's on the move. Behind him is Anton McFadden. McElhenney takes the return. Tons of space over on that far side for Carlos O'Reilly. Flicked forward. It was actually Michael Cannon into Carlos O'Reilly. The two of them look very alike from a distance. Carlos O'Reilly's in traffic. The ball's stolen from his grasp by Fun McGinty. McCool's have it back as we hit the last 30 seconds of this game. And Patrick Speyers is going to come into the game as well for McCool's, another or St. Michael's rather. Another late substitution. Sean Martin pops it over to Marty O'Reilly, who's covered a lot of ground today, Marty O'Reilly.
He's worked very hard, he's got a lot of ball.
Down the channel it goes. Out comes Aaron Kelly. Kelly now coming back to the 21. Superb block down the St. Michael's player on that occasion. I think it was Kyle McGarvey. Straight up the field to Carlos O'Reilly, who's looking to burn his man. Trying to get round the wing back. A couple of challenges go on. He stayed on his feet. James Connors is going to bring it back. It is going to be a free just inside. Well, we'll wait to see where James Connors is going to place the ball. But it is a free to St. Michael's for the pullback.
Yeah, and I think on that occasion James could have held off at the whistle. Carlos was going to get away from the tackle. He was fouled 2 or 3 times in actual fact, so he was, but he was determined to keep going. I think he saw that a goal was on, drove it hard. It was well saved by Owen Gallen, put it over the bar, but as it turns out, it's a free for Michael Langan, and he'll be looking to get his 10th point of the day, Oisin.
Yeah. So Michael Langan looking for another score here, and this would be point number 10 with a minute of whatever's going to be added on at the end of the game. We must the announcer is timing what he was telling the audience and we're telling the spectators here. Good crowd for this game today as well, and I'm sure there's a big following watching this game, not just alone locally but of course right across the world on Donegal GATV in association with streamsport.ie. Michael Langan kicks it high and over the bar, and Michael Langan is going to has 10 points. There's still a bit of time here. He's at 10 points in this game. He's at 11 in the game against Glenfin. So no doubt he's working his way up through the top scores in the championship. That should leave him well placed, you would imagine. Yeah. Would after missing the first game too. Goes forward to Luke Gavigan now. Gavigan and through the challenge of Carlos O'Reilly. This is Alan Spruill, who's just on the field for the McCool's men. There's a 10-point game here. We've played 2 minutes added on at the end of the match. We missed what was added on at the end of the game. 2 minutes have been told. So we're about to we've hit the 2 minutes. There hasn't been too many stoppages. It is going to be a ball. That's a breach. Is there a breach? Yeah, I think it's a breach. Yeah. There is a breach, so it's going to be a ball way up the field for Ethan Ferry to take. Is it going to be?
No, Max
Rourke's going to take it. Up comes Carlos O'Reilly.
Michael Langan doesn't look too interested in it. He's standing out in the middle.
It's either going to be Carlos O'Reilly, Max Rourke, or Ethan Ferry. I think it's going to be O'Reilly,
I would imagine it'd be Carlos, yeah.
So what's Carlos got so far today?
Carlos has 2 points on the board today.
Yeah. That got 3. Over the bar it goes. We expect the final whistle to come. 26 plays 15. With the kick to come from Owen Gallen. And I would expect that will bring an end to play because we've got 3 minutes played at the end of the game. We were to have 2. And there is the final whistle. And the first team into the semi-finals of the Michael Murphy Sports and Leisure Donegal Senior Football Championship is the men from the Bridge. It's been a very impressive performance by Michaels, who won this game by 11 points, finishing up 26 points to 15. 10 of those scores today coming from Michael Langan. But I know we talked about it throughout the game, Brendan. But they came out of the block so impressively at the start. 7 minutes on the board, or on the clock rather, and they had 7 points on the board. And Micheals were struggling from there on then. But it's what sort of statement is this? A big statement from the Michaels men as they go to the last 4?
Yeah, I think it is. They were very impressive out there. You couldn't be but impressed with them. And as you say, Oisín, that's first 7 minutes, putting 7 points on the board. It meant the Micheals were chasing the game, from that period on. And, the battle bravery, the likes of Sean Martin, Joe Boyle, Jamie Keegan, really battled and tried hard, so they did. But it wasn't enough, to break that early lead down, and just Michaels were superior all over the field. From Mark Atton McGinley's kickouts were superb. Big man, and defensively as a unit they made it difficult for Micheals the whole way through the game. The big man in the middle of the field, Michael Langan, what a super player, and he's a joy to watch. He just makes football look easy. Absolutely at his ease today, 10 points on the board. And all the forwards made the contribution. Then you had the likes of Michael Cannon coming from half back, kicking a few scores, half forward line all getting on the ball, and 2 Rileys inside. Max Rourke very impressive too. So Michaels will go in. They'll be delighted to be going into the semi-final on a high. They'd last week off. They were able to rest the bodies, and they looked the fresher team. Maybe
do you feel that favoured them today?
I think so, yeah. When in hindsight, when you look back at the game, they looked the fresher team from the very off, Oisín, and they just looked to have that spring and spark in their step, which was lacking from Micheals really. The likes of Conor McGinty, who's been so impressive for Micheals throughout the championship, didn't have one of his better days today. And listen, Micheals deserve a lot of credit. They kept battling, they didn't throw in the towel, but it just wasn't enough, and the physicality that St. Michael's had all over the pitch stood to them, and they'll be really happy going into the draw. So they will tomorrow, going into a semi-final, as you mentioned. They went out of the semi-final stage last year. They'll be very disappointed, but I think they're in a better position this year than they were last year. They look more impressive. After that opening day defeat to Micheals down at the Bridge, they've really turned the screw up, and they've been one of the more impressive teams. So they have.
Well, listen, and already in this campaign they've beat some of the big sides. So they're motoring through this championship, and I suppose that they've got momentum there. Like they beat Naomh Micheal, so they did.
Yeah.
And they've come through in the beat sides who would see themselves as contenders for this Dr. Maguire Cup as well. No doubt off the back of this performance, these guys are contenders too.
They certainly are. They certainly put their hand up today to be contenders, and they can take a lot of heart from that performance out there today. And missing the likes of Daniel McLaughlin still has to come back in, must be carrying some sort of injury. We saw the strength and depth they have by being able to bring on experienced players that know how the game is played. The likes of Anton McFadden, Martin McElhenney, both made an impact when they came in on the pitch. So they've quality all over the pitch. Jamie Hunter as a cornerback, Kyle McGarvey, really good players. The experience of Liam Paul Ferry at full back, Stephen Doak at centre back, Michael Cannon. They just look so strong and so physical all across the pitch, Oisín. So they're certainly a team that are going to be watched.
Yeah, you watched them on several occasions through the championship, and I suppose the difference from how they played on day one when they lost to Micheals to where they are today, the difference has been, I suppose, it's huge, so it is, Brendan.
It is indeed, because they weren't in that game for 50 minutes against Micheals. They were absolutely terrible, so they were actually to put it straight. But for 10 minutes at that day, they went at Micheals. They took on Micheals for the last 10 minutes and were able to close down a 12-point lead to a 2-point lead. And that made me think there's something in these guys, so there is. So, and they went out there today and proved that they showed a lot of intent early on. They look to be a very well managed and coached team. They know what their they know what their jobs are on the pitch. So, they're certainly a team to watch, and I was very impressed with them today. And I think there's another gear in them. The likes of Colin McFadden can be better. There's a few of them, that there's more to give there, so there is Oisín. And I think if they can pull all the strings together, they're going to be a queer detail for any opposition that they meet in the semi-final.
Okay, I'm going to ask you to take your headset off you, because Daniel McLaughlin, part of the management team of St Michael's, is coming up to join us now, and we'll have our after-match interview here live on Donegal GAA TV, and
an old work colleague of mine, Daniel.
And comes Daniel to join us. We'll just get the camera to pan round. You see, we'll get the headset on. You good man, Daniel. You come alongside me here, because we're gonna look into the camera when we're at it here as well. We're live on Donegal GAA TV with streamsport.ie. Listen, what was the difference in the end? 26-15 and 11.1. Was it as comfortable as it sounds on the scoreboard for you down in the line?
Probably not. No, you're always looking for them kind of wee improvements throughout the game. But look, we got off to a great start. Kicked a few nice scores, making a couple of nice 2-pointers for us, and that gives that wee kind of gap at half time. But I think Cumhaills asked a few questions of us early on, first 10-15 minutes, but then we kind of got ourselves back into shape again and seen that.
Yeah. Do you feel that the break that you had benefited you hugely coming into this game?
Yeah, look, you get a week off and you get the bodies right, and then you get to look at other teams and unfortunately, I suppose Micheal, they kind of lost wee McCormick too here the last day with a hamstring, and that's just playing that extra game, I suppose. So just unfortunate from their point of view, and we kind of benefited from that.
Yep. You seem to find the space at the right time in this game, and particularly in the opening 7 minutes, because you had 7 scores on the board at that stage, and it seemed to be, to us anyway, very early on, that Micheals mightn't get back into this, and that was sort of the foundation to the one.
Yeah, look, we played Micheals earlier in the year down in the bridge, and they got off to a big start against us. I think they were 11-0 up down in the bridge, and we've just kind of focused in that first 10-15 minutes, try to get off to a quick start, not to let them get that kind of lead on us. So look, we're very pleased getting 7-0 up, and we kind of seen it out then.
Yeah. But you're playing a lot better football now than what you did in the opening game, Daniel. You were very, very good there today, and as a unit you played exceptionally well.
Yeah, look, everybody was excellent, even the boys coming off, and just even having, I suppose, Michael in about the middle of the field, he kind of orchestrates things for us on there, and everyone kind of feeds off that and feeds off his energy, and look, everyone to a man was good today.
Yeah, and you were able to bring guys to the bench as well, experienced boys were able to come off, which adds, so it does, and you need guys like that as the championship goes on, and now that with the business end of things.
Yeah, look, we brought on Antoine there, and Martin, and even Packy O'Neill and Packy Spears, they're all kind of nice experienced players, and we've kind of competition for places. Even myself will come back now, maybe hopefully the semi, and there's plenty of competition there. Even Paul Johnson come in late there for us, done really well for us.
Yeah.
So
what's the story? How come you didn't line out today?
Just a wee bit of a cold, so I wasn't feeling the best. So I just
thought man flu.
Yeah, probably something like that.
But listen, you're the first team now into the hat of the semi-final, and no doubt off the back of last year, you always try to improve on the previous year. Was that the first target that you just had, right? We need to at the very least get back into the last 4 of the senior championship here?
Look, we just took it kind of game by game, was kind of get to the prelim first if we could, and then see where we ended up, and we're lucky enough to finish up in the top 4. Look, we're at where we were last year now in the semi-final, and just hopefully now we can keep on another big performance like we did today, and maybe try and get over the line. Yeah,
we get to watch the rest of the games now, safely in the knowledge that you're into the into the hat. So
yeah, feet up now, and look to kind of view the other 3 games. So it's nice to be first in the hat. Yeah.
Okay.
Great.
Well, listen, we enjoyed watching you today, so well done.
Cheers.
Congratulations, Dan.
Thank you.
Daniel McLaughlin there speaking to us live on Donegal GAA TV as we wrap things up from the O'Donnell Park in Letterkenny, and as we know, the first team through to the Michael Murphy Sports and Leisure semi-final draw is St Michael's. They were very impressive today. They defeated Micheals by 11 points. 26 points to 15 was the final score. Still to come this weekend. Tonight, Kilcar against Gweedore. Tomorrow, Four Masters Dunlow and Naomh Micheal against Termon. And those games, of course, are all available on Donegal GAA TV. Just check out their social channels and indeed the social channels of streamsport.ie. You'll not miss a thing with them to bring you live coverage of the championship on what is a bumper weekend as the quarterfinals are set to continue. We'll talk to you again soon.
Scoring threat, so he's a big loss for St Michael's.
Michael Langan and Luke Gavighan tussle for the ball, and the first of it. Here's Max Rorty with an effort. That one's going to stay high and stay in play. Michael's have a chance of a score. Carlos O'Reilly is going to split the post here. We're cutting across field, but here comes Langan. 11 points in the match against Glenfin. Looking for his first today. Oh, he's had it sweetly, so he has dropped over the bar.
So another attack again.
Yeah, they are indeed. It's Colin McFadden now. He's going to flick it across the 13. It comes to Rorty. Rorty again finds another score. Again now. Here's Langan looking for another 2-pointer, and this one drops over the bar. They've had a lightning start. The wing forward is Michael McGinley. He wants in on the scoring act, and that one was over the bar as well.
The early stages of this game, but that's a good ball into the inside line. It's Chad McShirley.
Yeah, Chad McShirley sends that one over the bar. It's a battle game against Gweedore and Convoy. And Jimmy Keegan's able to find the scoreboard. So that's back to Langan. Langan pops it forward. Cannon's looking for a score here, just on the edge of the D. And that one drops over the bar. And dropped into the path off the centre half forward. This is Colin McFadden charging forward. He's going to fist this over the bar. And another
by Sean Breen and Sean McMenamin, who would be two defenders naturally, Oisín. So, you know, they have lost a lot of firepower up front. It's going to be a big ask for them, and that's put over.
That one forward, and it comes back inside now to Colin McFadden. He's got one fisted over the bar. Is he going to get a second one? Yeah, second fist. Is this going to be his third 2-pointer, and with only 19 minutes played? And he's able to curl it, and again, a beautiful strike, which included a 2-pointer, have all come from St Michael's. Jamie Keegan is going to drop one over here, and it's going to be marked as a 1.
Game to go. There's still 8 minutes of this first half, but an opportunity here now from a 45. It's a well struck free, so it is well struck 45 over the bar.
Yeah, stroke 5 in the middle of the park. That's a good delivery into Cannon. Cannon's got loads of space over here. He's going to have a pot here, and that one drops over the bar. Riley Jinks now pops it back into the path of O'Neill. Oh, there's a goal chance here, is there? What are we going to do? Stick it over the bar, and it's another point of 50
for St Michael's.
Look, Gavigan now is going to give it to Sean Martin, who wants a 2-pointer.
Great effort.
What an effort. What a score by Sean Martin. It's a point here, Michael Langan. Is it going to stay in play? Oh, it's caught by Max Rourke. It's still in play. Chance of another score for Michaels across the face of goal and over the bar. And again, here's O'Reilly. Kicking one high, and that one is going to... Yeah, he's got
them out, and he's in the dressing room with them and all that kind of thing, but they want him out in the pitch kicking them scores. But that's a brilliant kick from Joe Boyle, so it is.
Yeah, superb kick from Joe Boyle. It's into the path of Kieran Kelly. Kieran Kelly is going to feed it to Colin McFadden. Steps onto the D, into the D, on the left foot, splits the post. 7 as we watch Joe Boyle with this free. Dead straight in front of the posts. How well has he struck this one? He struck it. This would make it 11 for McCool's. Here he comes.
Great strike.
Yeah, another good strike. The 2-pointers have been good score of space, and that's Sean Martin. Sean Martin now down that right side on the outside of the right boot, looking for a 2-pointer, and drops over the bar. And there's out. It's kicked high. And that one is going to drop and drop and drop over the bar.
Get away from the tackle, but adjudged to have been fouled, and this is an easy top over free, you would think, for Conor McGinty.
McGinty drops that one over the bar, and he goes to the challenge. Foul committed, referee's playing advantage. Riley, let's go here. And it drops over the bar, going to drop and stays in play. And Eddie O'Reilly done brilliantly, and he kicks it over the bar. Martin now, not enough for him to have a kick the first time. Second attempt, that goes over. It's another good score from Sean Martin. So it's 23 plays, substitutes linking up. That's McFadden, McElhenney. McElhenney's been pulled back. Referee says no advantage. And is it needed? It's not needed. So it's not because on Donegal GATV in association with streamsport.ie. Michael Langan kicks it high and over the bar. And Michael Langan is going to... Carlos got so far today.
Carlos has 2 points on the board today.
Yeah. That got 3. Over the bar it goes to play, because we've got 3 minutes played at the end of the game. We were to have 2. And there is the final whistle, and the first team into the semi-finals of the Michael Murphy Sports and Leisure Donegal Senior Football Championship is the men from the bridge. It's been
At Michael Murphy Sports and Leisure, we cater for everyone, from top sporting athletes to relaxed casual sporting individuals and everyone in between. We also provide a large range of teamwear services and cater for schools and clubs. Orders can be customised to your specification to suit your individual needs. From clothing to equipment, we've got you covered.
a very impressive performance by Michaels, who won this game by 11 points, finishing up 26 points to 15. 10 of